I find myself sometimes in a little bit of a cycle where I just keep on watching YouTube videos, then I got YouTube Shorts, then Instagram Reels, then I don't have TikTok anymore. But I'm sure if I had TikTok downloaded, I'd be on TikTok then, and then I would counteract that. I'll start watching these positive videos, self-improvement videos, Alex Hormozy, Chris Williamson podcast. Just keep on watching, and then in a cycle, and then it's noon, the sun set, and I've done nothing with my life. That's not my life, with my day. I've wasted my day just watching stuff that did it really benefit me all that much? Who knows? Did I remember all of the stuff that I watched? All the lessons that the person who made the video was trying to convey to me? Did I consume all those lessons? Probably not. Probably maybe I can barely remember one from that day that I would mindlessly consume content. And a lot of people are in this cycle as well, and voluntarily or voluntarily can't speak. I'll get into that in towards the end of the video, but especially because now of social media, it's so easy, so accessible, it's so addictive, it's so optimized for our monkey brains, down to the icon of the app, the colors of that, to the algorithm, to the way you consume the content, the scrolling, and the dopamine receptors just firing away, the targeted ads. And then for YouTube, for example, the nowadays the hyper stimulating thumbnails and the titles. From a side tangent, it almost feels like every single YouTuber makes the same video because of how everyone is copying the Mr. Beast style of video with the same thumbnails and the same YouTube titles. And then when you click on the video, I spent 24 hours in prison. Not saying it's a bad thing, just anyways, it's all designed, all these social media apps, all these internet shenanigans, they're designed for you to stay on their platform for the longest time possible, because the longer you stay, the more ads you watch, the more money they make. Pretty simple. So that's why it's incentivized for them to try and hit the mark, try and see, okay, how can we make these apps stick on the people who are on our platforms and have them stay on there for as long as possible. And as a byproduct of that, we have a lot of zombies nowadays who just mindlessly consume content. And it doesn't always have to be just entertainment stuff like Mr. Beast videos, for example, or any other videos. It could be maybe educational videos, self-improvement videos, or cooking videos, learning how to cook, or it could be how to draw better, or how to play the guitar, how to clean out your gutters. Like, it doesn't have to be just like mind rotting videos. It can be educational videos as well, but it's still a cycle that most people are in, regardless of what they consume and where they consume it and how they consume it. Podcasts, long form videos, or TikTok shorts, everything in the spectrum. A lot of people are in this cycle of just consuming for the sake of consuming. And because most people consume, they don't create. And instead of creating, they get consumed themselves because they don't end up building anything. And then time passes. As time passes, the months, the years, they reflect back, these people who are in this cycle, they just reflect back on their lives, and they might have a reflective moment of self-reflection when they realize, wow, I've wasted a lot of time. I wasted a lot of time in my life just consuming content, consuming, and not building anything, building something for me. I'm investing all this time into other people's lives through all this media without investing in the one life that's the most important, your own, my own. And then either the person changes, which is probably, if there were 100 people, 3 people, maybe 5 people would change, and then the other 95 to 97 people, they would go even harder down into the consumption cycle, because it's a escape. Much like, I remember, video games would be an escape for me, from parents' expectations, from trying to study, trying to get good grades at school, trying to get into some sort of sports. It was an escape, video games, and I couldn't help just playing video games all day because it was an escape, and I can't blame myself for doing that. Just like I can't blame all the people who are just zombies consuming content, because it was designed to be addictive. They're not the problem, they're victims. The problem is social media, and as they consume more media, the fear of their incompetency and wasted life hits them like a truck, and they just feel bad about themselves. No wonder social mental health is such at an all-time low. It's the self-destructive cycle of just mind-rotting zombie consumption, and they don't build anything. And I'm not saying this to condemn you. I definitely do this myself. Even now, I'll have whole days where it doesn't matter if it's just random BS I'm watching or if it's actual productive stuff I'm watching. There will be days where I just consume all day, just watching video after video after video, and then by the time before I realize it, the sun's setting, and I've done nothing productive that day, and I feel bad about myself. It's an addictive cycle, man. It hits me too. I'm not saying I'm some superhuman that, wow, it's even affecting me. Wow, look at me, it's affecting me. I'm regular Joe Schmo here. I'm just saying it affects me too. It affects everyone, and I've come to realize, after having the cycle happen to me a ton of times, I've learned that I need to have a barrier. I need to try and control myself. And it's so hard to control yourself because of how addictive it is. And it takes a lot of discipline. It takes a lot of discipline. But some hard rules that I have put for myself is to be careful of what I am watching. So I try to not watch. I try to not. Okay, yeah. Before we even get into that, I'm not saying that consuming stuff is bad, because I've definitely learned a lot of stuff from consuming YouTube videos, Instagram Reels, not so much TikToks. I won't lie. That was bottom barrel of zombie brain rot for me personally. I know YouTube Shorts are pretty bad as well, but I mean, social media is pretty cool. If it wasn't for Skype, me and my friends probably wouldn't be as close as we were today. I'll say that. Me and my friends, year 7, year 8. So how old would we have been? We would have been 10, 11 years old, around there. We would every night hop on Skype call with each other, and we'd play Minecraft or Roblox. We'd have this game called Phantom Forces, and we really were competitive in that game. Phantom Forces pretty much like a very, very realistic version. No, not realistic. Dumbed down, version of Call of Duty. But it was a really good game. It was way too intuitive. It may as well have been a separate game on Steam or something. But me and my friends, we got super competitive in that game. We would say, oh, I'm gonna get the higher rank. Oh, I got this gun. Oh, look at this attachment. Oh, look at this. Very specific attachments on this one gun. It makes it super OP, guys. And then that's how our friendship grew. That was the start of it all. And I'm grateful for all those memories I had, and it wouldn't have had happened if it wasn't for social media. I'm not saying it's bad, but there's a limit. Just like anything, you can't overconsume. You can't go too much into it. You need to have a use for it. So the uses I try to put for myself in terms of content consumption, I try to watch only stuff that will benefit me. I don't always watch stuff that benefits me. Sometimes I watch stuff that's purely for my entertainment. And I think there is a place for watching content that's purely for entertainment, because for the daily grind, you're grinding every day. It can get a little too much for some people, I understand that, or it can get a little too repetitive maybe, or you feel like you need a mental break. You just need to have a mental reset. Just take X amount of time off and relax and appreciate how much progress you've made, and take a little time off to yourself and enjoy yourself, and then get back to whatever it was you're doing. There is a place for entertaining content and consumption of entertainment, but you need to realize, and you need to think for yourself what that time is, including the educational stuff that you want to watch, which I watch. I have to think to myself, is this stuff that I'm watching really helping me out? Am I really gaining value from this, or am I kind of coping and just using this consumption as a convenient excuse to push back whatever work I'm meant to be doing? Because you don't want your knowledge to be the constraint in your progress, so you don't want to be arrogant, but there comes a point where you know enough about a certain topic where the action and actually trying to do the thing becomes a constraint. The experience you gain from doing the thing becomes a constraint. So I really like to try and keep these two in check. Is my knowledge the constraint, or is my action the constraint? If my action is the constraint, consume a bit and figure out what the thing is I'm arrogant about. Figure out the unknowns about XYZ. And if the action is the constraint, then I hold back. I hold back on the content consumption, and I create stuff. I build whatever it is I'm building. And building for you, it can be whatever. Building a career, building a piece of art, building a reputation. That was kind of a trash example. You know what I'm trying to say though. Building something. Trying to go out there and make something out of yourself. Try and achieve your purpose. Focus on what it is that you find valuable, not what you find valuable in others. Not what you find valuable in the content and the people, not what you find valuable in the people that you watch online. Nowadays, it's definitely a case of you have to create or you become consumed. If you don't create, then you'll fall into this addiction of the cycle continuity. I think I said that right. Of just consuming content to escape from reality, and then reality becomes worse, and then you delve even more, or you change. 5 to 3% of people will change, but it's either you go through that cycle, or you actually shut up, stop coping, stop being a dumbass, and actually go out there and create something and make something out of yourself.